गाइस मैं सुबह से इन्वेस्टिगेशन रिपोर्ट पे लगा हूं एयर इंडिया की।
Many Indian pilots are angry with the Air India crash investigation report. Here's why.
Reading from the findings, it tells me that it was in pilot error.
But while the data points to a technical malfunction, many headlines have been quick to suggest pilot error. The Indian Commercial Pilots Association said it was deeply disturbed by speculative narratives, particularly the reckless and unfounded insinuation of pilot suicide. In a strong statement, the ICPA called these claims reckless, unfounded, irresponsible, and deeply insensitive, especially since the probe is still ongoing. Just a day earlier, the Airline Pilots Association of India raised concerns over the tone and direction of the narrative around the preliminary report, suggesting it reflects a bias against pilots. Here's what the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau found. Just 3 seconds after the takeoff, both fuel and control switches on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner moved to the cut-off position. What are fuel control switches? They are switches that regulate fuel flow into a plane's engines. They are used by pilots to start or shut down engines on the ground or to manually shut down or restart engines if an engine failure occurs during a flight. So changing the switches to the cutoff position would amount to cutting off fuel to both engines. The aircraft, as we saw in this footage, couldn't climb beyond 625 feet.
What you do with the switch, it isn't as simple as the light switches at home. You have to physically sort of not pull the pin, but if you have to pull the toggle out, then it can move to a different position. So you do have to do it on purpose, not accidentally knocking it to the wrong position. Very rarely that can happen, or is close to zero.
The pilots attempted to restart the engines, but the aircraft lost all thrust and crashed within seconds, killing all 260 people on board, including 19 on the ground. And here's where it gets more troubling. Back in 2018, the FAA had warned about potential issues with these very fuel switches. The locking mechanism designed to prevent accidental movement could fail under certain conditions, but Air India never conducted the inspections recommended for the aircraft involved in the crash.
What the report seems to be suggesting is the error with the chip. It's as simple as one chip not working properly, losing contact. Once you lose contact, it's kind of how electricity works, the signal works.
So far, the report does not blame the pilots, but it does raise important questions. Why did both fuel switches move to cut off at the same time? Was there a deeper fault in the aircraft systems? And why weren't the FAA's earlier warnings followed? The report has triggered a global response. In the UAE, Etihad Airways has ordered urgent inspections of the locking mechanism in the fuel control switches of all Boeing 787s in its fleet, urging engineers to be extra cautious while operating them. As the investigation continues, India's pilots are asking for the investigation process to ensure transparency and accountability.